Good morning, everyone. Good morning, my friends. I'm yours truly, Orlando White, and it's good to be here with you again. Now, many of you, my friends who are listening to me at this moment, would have known me for many years, and I would have known many of you also. And for those of you who do not know me, it's great having you on this platform, and I hope we'll get to know each other soon. To my friends across the world who have been trying to get me and have connected with me in finding out how I'm surviving, coping, and how the ministries that I am a part of are surviving and coping. Thank you very much. First, I must make it known that I had been through many hurricanes, storms, and floods in Jamaica throughout my lifetime. And of all of the experience I have ever had, for some reason beyond my control, this time around, while Hurricane Mellisa would have hit Jamaica at a Category 5, I was not in Jamaica at the moment. So this is the first hurricane that I have not been in Jamaica since I was born. And you know the challenge that is trying to contact my friends, loved ones, and those in ministry that I partner with and work with for over 30 years and is unable to reach them. Today, I speak to you from Canada, and it is normally this time of year that we here in Canada, as ministers of the gospel, as family and my friends, would have joined in packing boxes or Christmas goodies to send to help persons in Jamaica. Well, for those of you who did not know, I have been involved in charity since 1992. And in the year 1997, I would have officially partnered with the Families for Christ mission in Mandeville, where I would have continued as director of the Families for Christ ministry after the departure of the founder, Mrs. Dolores Edwards of the Jamaica Bible College in Mandeville. After her death, I became the director of the Families for Christ ministry, where across Jamaica we would offer clothing, food, or any medical help if possible, and sometimes would have also paid students' fees. Throughout these years, we operate very silently. Not many people would know what we do or how we do it, but those that we would have helped would have testified to others, and the word would have spread. Well, let's fast track. In the year 2016, while here in Canada, I would have continued the same mission as in Jamaica with the Families for Christ mission, where the Families for Christ mission in Jamaica not only became a mission in helping persons, but officially became the Family for Christ Church in Canada. Well, as time went on, the Families for Christ Church would have established itself and became a place of worship from Toronto to Brampton. Today, as I speak to you, the pastor for the Family for Christ Church in Canada is now Reverend Richard Clark. But ladies and gentlemen, the Family for Christ mission continues, especially in Jamaica, where I would have helped many children back to school and also persons in communities. Not just the Families for Christ mission, but I am also a part of the Each One Reach One humanitarian initiative based in Brampton, Ontario, Canada. The Each One Reach One humanitarian initiative is also a Jamaica charity organization to which we also partner in doing the same thing. Now, many of us would have watched the social media videos or the local and international television reports regarding the catastrophic destruction of Hurricane Mellisa across the island of Jamaica. Today, as the reports come to us, I must let you know I am still not yet back in Jamaica. I am still overseas. But before Hurricane Mellisa came, the Family for Christ mission, along with Each One Reach One humanitarian initiative in Canada, would have already started the process from few months ago in asking for help of food kind and clothing to donate to those who are in need. And let me pause and say this to some persons, that I personally have contributed and had contributed from my own what I have into the mission also. So there are no benefits that is coming to me personally, because everything we have in the mission, we give it in support of those who are in need. Now, as I was saying before, at the moment, we would have already, from few months ago in Canada, started packaging some things to be shipped to Jamaica. And I must also emphasize that this is not an organization of the government of Jamaica, but we are a registered charity organization in Canada. Both the Family for Christ Church and the Each One Reach One humanitarian initiative are Canadian registered charity. But in Jamaica, we operate with the Each One Reach One Foundation, which is a registered Jamaica charity organization. So, ladies and gentlemen, listening to me at this moment, I kindly ask of you, and I'm sure many of you had never ever seen me on social media asking for any personal help, but I am always asking for help for others. So today, if you are in Canada or wherever you are in the world, I kindly ask of you for your help towards bringing these items that we have already collected in Canada, and we still have space, can take much more. But at this moment, we would rather tin items or non-perishable items that can assist. I know you may be saying that there are many missions that are doing the same thing already, but be also noticeable that there is always some missions that continue to do what we do, whether it's a disaster or not. And as I said to you, since 1992, note, since 1992, the Family for Christ mission in Mandeville, Jamaica, and you can check our records at the Food for the Poor Registry and the local ministers fraternal in Mandeville. The name Family for Christ Mission is not a strange name in central Jamaica. Neither is the name Each One Reach One Humanitarian Initiative or Each One Reach One Helpline a strange name. And if you can't be associated or have never heard of those names, I'm sure you have seen me around or have heard of my name, Orlando White. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I ask of your help for the Each One Reach One Humanitarian Initiative and the Family for Christ Church in partnership with the Family for Christ Mission as we bring food items to Jamaica. Not just that, there are some persons, and you may be one of those persons listening me right now, that may not be in Canada and is able to contribute in tin products, but you are able to contribute financially. The number is on your screen. WhatsApp this number, 1-876-443-7301. The number is 1-876-443-7301. Jamaica needs your help, and at the Family for Christ Mission and the Humanitarian Initiative of Each One Reach One, along with the Family for Christ Church in Canada, we say to you, we thank you for praying for Jamaica. We thank you for wanting to help, and we thank you for your cooperation. And I must also repeat, the Jamaica government, led by the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Honorable Dr. Andrew Holness, they do, as a government, have their own website that everyone can contribute to. But I must make it clear, this help I'm asking for, it's not for the government of Jamaica. It is for the Family for Christ Mission or the Each One Reach One Foundation in carrying out our daily and continuous help to those who are in need. So there are many options today, and we ask if you can support them all. Please do, because we're all in this thing together and we're working. Well, you may ask, if we are in Mandeville, how is it that we are going to Westmoreland? Listen, it doesn't matter where in Jamaica you are. Jamaica is a small island that we all can reach. It's not my first time working with persons in the Westmoreland area. Even recently, in the month of September, I was in Westmoreland, and I remember while attending a function, a teacher and a principal from a school in Westmoreland. Both were from two different schools. One was from a high school, one was from a primary school. They identified me in the crowd as coming to their church and also their school many years ago, where I had helped a family and also had participated in school activities. So I know the communities of Westmoreland very well, because I have many friends and persons in Westmoreland that we have partnered with over the years. Ladies and gentlemen, there is also one particular lady in the area of Westmoreland they call Cave, that I would have worked with for over 3 years. So in the Bloomfields area also, there are persons that I know that we would like to reach out to with your help. Ladies and gentlemen, we are no stranger to Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth. In the Savlamar area, I have worked with pastors over many years, and they need your help for the rebuilding of homes and the rebuilding of churches. As the government of Jamaica continue to focus on development, which I would do believe is infrastructure, please bear in mind that the government of Jamaica will not be responsible for rebuilding churches. Therefore, as a pastor and a minister of the gospel, you would understand we as pastors not just only support the government of Jamaica, but we also are involved in the building of places of worship. You're listening to me today. You may not be an evangelist, you may not be a preacher, but maybe you can speak to your pastor or you can speak to your friend and say, let's form a team to go to Jamaica and help with the rebuilding of a church or assist a family that is in need with some literal hands-on work. We shall be happy to partner with you. We shall be happy to work with you, and we shall be happy to connect you with some local persons in the communities of Westmoreland, St. James, or St. Elizabeth, the 3 areas we are focusing on at this moment. Please bear in mind, I am no stranger, as I said before, to the parishes of Westmoreland. I have worked in Westmoreland, and I have also spent time in the Bloomfields and Belmont area of Westmoreland. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about St. Elizabeth. When I saw the destruction of what happened in St. Elizabeth, I do understand and feel what the people of St. Elizabeth feel, because I have also lived in the middle quarter area of St. Elizabeth, where I had worked for many years in establishing church and community programs. Today, as I speak to you, there are many persons that I do know in the middle quarter area, as far as to Holland Bumble. And yes, I have also worked in establishing church in Santa Cruz. Now you're seeing a side of me that you had never known. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who know me, I have worked for many years in the middle quarter area with a prominent Jamaica politician and religious leader and his family, who is still a very influential person in the middle quarter area. I was introduced to middle quarter of St. Elizabeth by this individual, and he continues to be a voice for the voiceless and a help to the helpless. But today, I have now had so much relationship with the people of St. Elizabeth that I can tell you the middle quarter area of St. Elizabeth to where I now speak, there are some persons we would like to reach out to and help them to as far as Lacovia. Within the Lacovia area, I worked closely also for several years. Even Santa Cruz, let's talk about Santa Cruz. I had also been a part of establishing church in Santa Cruz. Ladies and gentlemen, the devastation on the parishes of St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, and Trelawney is still one under the assessment of the government of Jamaica. But as the government continues to cry for help and the aid from countries continue to come, we can see the public announcements. But today, I speak as a pastor, I speak as a minister of religion, I speak as a community activist and a voice for the voiceless and even children who are in need. The Family for Christ mission, the Family for Christ Church, the Each One Reach One humanitarian initiative, and the Each One Reach One helpline needs your help today in continuing to assist and work with those who continue to help those who are in need. Now, the number is on your screen, 1-876-443-7301. Text that number and let us know how you would like to contribute. We will not publish any information unless you require or ask of us. So please note, even if you have made or will and is interested in making a financial donation, if you wish for us to make it known publicly, we are willing also as a registered charity organization to make it known. I do know there are some persons and organizations who would like to let persons know that they are and have contribute. We do welcome that. If you wish for us to publicize your name, we can do that because we accept gifts from families, from companies, and from friends. So, as I go, I shall return soon and tell you much more of how you can help. Listen to this song. This song came out of one of the missions that I had in St. Elizabeth once, close to Junction, where at that time, at that mission, we had in attendance Reverend Glenn Graham. Reverend Glenn Graham, who is not doing very well at this moment, at the time was in good spirit. And I said to him, while on this mission in St. Elizabeth, Glenn, I have so many young people in Northwest Clarendon that I would like to help. And I notice they have talent as musicians and they have good singing voice. Why don't you help me and let us write a song? Glenn Graham at the time was very happy to partner with me in writing this song. And today I leave this song with you as a reminder of what happens when we use what God has blessed us with to help others. Please listen and be blessed. And remember, you can contribute to the Each One Reach One helpline, the Each One Reach One humanitarian foundation, the Each One Reach One family in Christ. Today, in helping those who are in need of help from Hurricane Mellisa, and we accept donation financially or in non-perishable items. We are located in central Jamaica, and we are also located in Brampton, Ontario, Canada. So at this moment, if you are in Brampton, if you're in Mississauga, if you're in Toronto, please text 876-443-7301. To our friends in Canada, we ask of you kindly text the number or call the number 1-876-443-7301. And as I said before I go, if you're willing to go to Jamaica, to make a trip to Jamaica, to rebuild a home, or to assist in the rebuilding of a church, many churches in the St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, and parts of Trelawney had indeed been devastatedly damaged by Hurricane Ivan. We seek your help today, not just for the church and the communities, but also for the children.
For whatsoever a man soweth, my friend, that you shall also reap. You sow sparingly, you'll reap sparingly, but if you sow bountifully, you'll reap bountifully. For whatever you sow in the kingdom of God, you'll reap 30, 60, or 100-fold. What's in your hand, if it's not enough to pay your bills and buy your stuff, but when you put it in the hands of Jesus, you'll have enough and have left over. Don't eat your seed if you believe.
I know the song is a little low for some persons, but I will work on it on my next presentation that you'll hear it better. And we are also helping persons in the Bull Bay area between Kingston and St. Thomas. So if you want to reach out to persons in the Bull Bay area, we do have a contact. We have a contact right on the border of St. Thomas and Kingston. Text us and we will give you the contact to someone in the Bull Bay and Kingston area that will be able to carry out the mission of distribution on behalf of the Family for Christ Church or the H1 Humanitarian Initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, the number is now on your screen, 1-876-443-7301. If you're in Canada or wherever you are in the world, text that number and let us know how you're willing and able to help. The H1 Reach One Humanitarian Initiative, the H1 Reach One Helpline, and also the Family for Christ Church. And again, as I go, remember, if you're willing to form a team to go to Jamaica in the rebuilding of a home or the rebuilding of a church, we will be very happy. And the areas we're looking at are Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, and parts of Trelawney. And if you wish to go to the Bull Bay area of Kingston, there are some persons there that we would like to assist also. Until next time, Orlando White is my name. Looking forward to hear from you.